Leading up to this year's Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia, there were great concerns about the possibility of terrorist attacks. Thankfully, the games have been completely safe so far. That wasn't the case back in 1972 at the Summer Olympics in Munich, Germany. U.S. Olympian Jane Frederick was one of the last people to see the Israeli hostages alive. Santa Barbara resident Jane Frederick competed at the 1972 and 1976 Summer Olympics. She was the first great American female multi-eventer. She set over 20 U.S. records in a pentathlon and a heptathlon. She was 20 years old at the 72 Olympics in Munich.
We were at Lake Tahoe, I guess, when I finally made the standard, and I was assured of a place.
But during the second week of action, a Palestinian group known as Black September took advantage of lax security on the early hours of September 5th to kidnap 11 members of the Israeli Olympic team. 2 were killed immediately, leaving 9 hostages. It was an off day for track and field events, so Frederick and others had gone out sightseeing, only to return later that day to find the horror that was taking place at the Olympic Village.
We had walked out the front about a half hour after they had begun in the back. We came back that evening to find that the entire village, neighborhood, etc., had been completely transformed, into basically a military police zone.
German police agreed to bus the terrorists and the hostages to awaiting helicopters that would eventually take them to an airport. Frederick saw the hostages walk off the bus and into the helicopters.
They all came out of the buses. There were military buses below me, right below me. I was just with all the, and got into that big transport helicopter, and up they went and off they went.
But chaos broke out at the airport and all of the hostages were killed. ABC sportscaster Jim McKay broke the news to the world.
They've now said that there were 11 hostages. 2 were killed in their rooms yesterday morning. 9 were killed at the airport tonight. They're all gone.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't talk about it for years because I realized we were the last people probably to see them alive.
A memorial service was held at Olympic Stadium on September 6th, and the games continued.
I was absolutely adamant in my own attitude that of course we should continue competing. We should continue competing in their honor, in their memory.
Jane Frederick placed 21st in the pentathlon in 1972 and 7th in the same event in the 1976 Olympics. And she said in that 76 Olympics, the security was night and day compared to Munich.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, and they did that intentionally in Munich because of the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. Hitler's Olympics were so fear that they wanted a nice, serene Olympics. Yeah, and they paid the price for it.
Well, she certainly added some memories.
Oh, she is great to talk to.
She looks great.